to see you at DabbleCon. Marahuasa. I'm gonna oh my God. Yeah. I'm coming. That's right. When you see me at DabbleCon, you're gonna shit your fucking pants. Fact. Wait for it. I got to the gym at 12:30. You know what time I left? 1:45. Why? Because I'm getting ready for DabbleCon. That's why. Comedy at the Carlson in tropical Rochester, New York welcomes DabbleCon 2, August 16th and 17th. All of your favorite Dabbleverse streamers will be there, like Lady K, Shitware, Barbara Levy, Silent Mike, Log Cabin Larry, Transphobic Rocco, Fat Fuck Potato, Stupid Orange, Fatty Patty, and of course, the racist Anthony Cumia. Don't be a Get your tickets now at carlsoncomedy.com.
That's right. And as we announced earlier in the program, DabbleCon.live, you can now stream all of DabbleCon. If you can't be there, go to DabbleCon.live to sign up. You can watch the roasts on Friday night, the live podcast on Saturday, and the Dabby Award ceremony Saturday night. And I am very thankful for our guest that's on here with us today, Adam Busch, making his debut on W8DP. What's up, Adam?
Hello, Carl. Hello, producer Chris. Good to see you, Miss Tightbox.
Well, hello.
So, Adam, I'm really glad we didn't connect sooner because we could have. But then you got to go on John's show. And I think that we both know that if you would have showed up on my show first, that would not, because he was already very cautious about you going on his show.
He was very afraid of me from the beginning.
Yes.
He also thinks I'm 4 different people. Because I hit him from 4 different places. I hit him from Instagram, from Facebook, on Twitter, and he thinks those are all different people. He also thinks there's another person that he blocked during the Clay Dabbler bombing. Remember when that happened?
Of course.
He came back on the air and was so angry, he just started blocking everyone in the chat. And he said, "You're blocked, Filet-O Randy. You're blocked, Adam Busch." And then that night, he was like, "Hey, you want to come on the show?"
Oh, you had just gotten blocked before that? That's funny.
He doesn't know that these are all the same people, and he still doesn't know. He doesn't grasp a lot of what's happening. I think he takes it all on a very surface level.
Okay, so let's talk about this. Adam, I'm excited to have you on the show because in my household, you're beloved. You obviously were on Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the TV show, for many seasons, and I want to talk to you about Allison Hannigan because I'm still in love. Okay. But before we get into that, you actually have a background that's crazy when it comes to the Dabbleverse. You're a musician. You're a very accomplished musician. You've played with a lot of bands. And one of the bands you played with was The Losers, the Howard Stern band. And apparently, did you reach out to them? Like, you got recruited by John to be in the band?
I got recruited by a gentleman by the name of Crispy Chicken. And a trumpet player named Jordan, and they both were in Rainbow Trout, who John called. And they needed a sax player. They knew I was a big Stern fan and that it would just be a perfect fit. So they needed a full horn section. They needed a bari, they needed an alto, they wanted a trumpet and a trombone. So I was the alto.
Nice. And so you performed on air on the Howard Stern show?
Correct. John was the one who met us when we got there. He completely messed up where we were supposed to be, and he put us in a room to tune that was bleeding into the studio. So Gary had to come.
Of course he did.
And who put you in here? We said, John. He said, of course. This was a long time ago.
What instrument did John play in the band at that time?
He wasn't in on this session at all. He just said, I can get you a horn section, and then provided us.
So hold on a second. This is Atlantic recording artist, Stuttering John Melendez. He's not good enough to be in The Losers?
I think he was being humble.
The band that Scott the Engineer was in? He couldn't make the cut?
Yeah, the band that Baba Booey played trumpet in, John wasn't good enough.
Because The Losers, so Fred Norris is an accomplished guitarist, way better than John is. Jackie Martling is a guitarist. So I imagine those two probably got the nod over John. One of them maybe played bass.
I think, I know Fred sang, Howard played keyboards. That's kind of all I remember.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to understand, John's band at the time, all accomplished musicians. Bill Titus is an amazing musician.
Bill Titus is great. Yes, I've learned that.
All of those guys are real session guys.
Do you know Bill? Have you met him before?
Yeah, we used to jam together all the time back in the day.
I'm excited. I want to meet Bill. I want to get Bill on the show so bad. I want to hear about recording that album.
I thought it was very interesting that I mentioned Bill, and John did not pick up on that at all and never asked. I mentioned it in my letter. I brought it up on the air, and he did not pick up on that. So I'm guessing that's another bridge burned.
So Adam, you go way back with the Dabbleverse. You talked to John about how you got on to WATP and then Uncle Rico and Potato Soup and Tukey Soup and all that kind of stuff. So you know all of these things, and you probably know that I was for a little while having a debate with John about who's a better guitar player. I think I won that debate because I showed a lot of evidence that he sucks at guitar. And when I was going back and watching his old concert footage from 1994, I saw Bill Titus, who would take a lead every now and again, was so much better than John at playing leads. And I went, oh, this is weird. So then you listen to John's album, and you can tell that John played the leads on his album because they're not very good. And I really want to talk to Bill about what was that like? Was there ever a discussion? This is a major label. Would Bill like raise his hand and be like, hey, maybe I should play a guitar solo or two because I could do this way better than what you're doing. But it is grunge too, so maybe that wasn't. I mean, have you heard any of this music? Do you remember his band at all?
I do. I remember the band a little bit, and I've heard you play it, and I've watched the videos. All of those guys are really great session guys. They could hold up anyone and make it seem palatable. Good musicians can do that. You can sit in and they surround him. They knew what they were doing. They were attaching themselves to something that you got to understand, on Long Island at the time, how could you say no? They were just the gigs when you were with John or anything related to the Stern Show, the gigs are waiting to happen.
Monkey One says, can't trust Carl when it comes to guitar talk. He thinks he's still better than Corey Feldman. Yeah, good point. All right. You're right. I've been big time with a lot of people. Also, Hulkamania gifting 10 who are these podcast memberships. Thank you very much for that, Hulkamania. We do appreciate the support and generosity on these shows. So, Adam, you went on John's show, and your take on this, I think, was probably similar to like what Vince the Warrior would say, because Vince is obsessed with Eric the actor, as is my boy Casey Day. Hack Ride does a show about Eric the actor / Eric the midget. And so your thinking was John's kind of replaced that void after Eric the actor died. Do you want to elaborate on that a little bit?
Well, he did that for me personally. I'm one of those people during quarantine and COVID that went back and listened to Stern. And OJ in the Morning correctly stated that what I was talking about is not a new phenomenon. It wasn't a phenomenon just during COVID. It's something that's been going on for 10 years, but there was a resurgence during that time, and I was part of that. And if you were listening to Stern at that time, the algorithm said, well, then you're definitely going to like these people making fun of Opie. You're definitely going to like these people making fun of John. And they were right. So immediately I fell in love with you guys and started following the whole world. And you fall into Harrison Young, you fall into everybody. And John and Opie, for me, they just were really special. I just became very obsessed. And instead of falling asleep to Eric, now I can just fall asleep to this. And it replaced, and I get very obsessed. So I have to go back and listen to every episode of John's show, hear every episode of your show, hear all of the coverage that goes on. Tukey was talking the other day about how he walks around listening to Ron and Fez 24/7.
Yes.
And that's me. It's just I'm listening to him, not Ron and Fez.
Right, yes.
So I have my own problems going on, clearly, but that's a separate thing.
Obviously. So I find that fascinating. Can you explain, for people who aren't familiar with the Howard Stern show, because there's a lot of people, believe it or not, John Milan does, that say, I didn't know who John was until I heard about him on WATP. So there's a lot of people who aren't familiar with the old Howard Stern show. You know, he was in certain markets before Sirius XM. He wasn't everywhere. And even in every market he wasn't necessarily the number one guy in the morning. So can you explain the parallels between Eric the actor and Stuttering John? Why did you draw that conclusion? You're like, oh, this scratches that same itch.
It just gave me that feeling. And it's interesting because I had no relationship with O&A growing up in New York. I do now through this show. I've become obsessed. I didn't realize Patrice was on there. I didn't know how funny Kumia was, but I didn't know who Opie was. But you making fun of Opie, love it. Can't get enough of it. I have all this history with John. I have none with Opie, but it gives me that same feeling. Eric used to have this American Idol wrap-up show, and it was the best when Howard and the gang would just rip on this show. And this show might as well be John's show. Between the blocking everyone, Eric feels the need. If you make a comment on the internet about Eric, he has to rebut it. He has to, because if it's on the internet, somebody reads it and it must be real. So if he has a rebuttal, someone will read that and that will be real. John's the same fucking guy. He's the same guy.
And you know what? Another parallel I didn't even think of is that Eric had Johnny Fratto. And Johnny Fratto's dad was in the mafia, and so he was considered to be all mafia'd up or mobbed up. And so Eric would go to Johnny Fratto with like bigger problems he had to deal with. He'd be like, Johnny, you know what to do. Take care of this guy. He was making fun of me. And John is very much the same way when he talks about John Gotti Jr. And he's just like, well, I've been hanging out with John Gotti Jr. lately, and I'll probably take care of you assholes. Or he says he has connections with biker gangs in Florida or all this kind of shit. Like, I didn't even think about that until just now. That is 100% where it's like you have this little man who can't do anything, but he thinks he's got these connections to scary people who will do their bidding for them.
And they both lie about meaningless shit and will not let it go. They will die before they'll admit the most meaningless lie, and I find that riveting.
So, Adam, between our mutual acquaintance, he's told me a lot of the things that you've been up to, and one of those things, I mean, as I mentioned, you're an accomplished musician. Have you worked with They Might Be Giants in the past?
Yes. Yeah, I toured with them for a while, and they
Did you
played
really?
on,
you were part of their horn section.
No, we opened for them in a folk band, and then the Band of Dans and Linnell were our backing band for a record. Yeah.
No shit.
Mm-hmm.
So do you think you're more accomplished in entertainment, Hollywood, or in music?
I think it's my knowledge of the Dabbleverse that'll rocket me to start.
Well, I agree with you on that. I'm just curious, like how you would
doing right here.
How you would sum up your career. I'm just curious what you think you're more accomplished in.
I don't know. I've always been a character actor since I was a child, and I kind of enjoy that.
That's right. You were in what Nickelodeon show were you on?
Oh, it was called The Mystery Files of Shelby Woo.
Okay, so there's people here who will know you from that as well.
I doubt any of this audience is interested in that at all.
I know. I'm not going to get into that. I'm not here to interview you.
Tukey knew that show.
Yeah, no, that's right. Tukey
Look,
did
if you
know
had the
that
girl
shit.
from Alex Mack on here, I'd be like, okay, get to the John stuff.
That's a good point. Yes, but
I would not.
Well, anyway, my wife is a huge fan, and she is obsessed with Buffy, and I'm obsessed with Allison Hannigan. And is she as hot as I think she is in real life?
Yeah.
You could lie to me.
Nope.
You can soften the blow if you want.
I heard she's into club feet.
What?
Whoa.
This is amazing.
What I heard.
What a coincidence.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I happen to know a guy. That's incredible. All right. Do you want to hang out with us and watch some clips from John's show yesterday?
I would love that.
I thought you might. I thought you might enjoy this because John starts up his show. Now he's back down in Florida, and he lives in a house with central air. Most houses in Florida have central air, especially new builds. I know, go figure. But for whatever reason, John's so stupid, he doesn't know that he should probably have his air conditioning on when he starts his show up. So he is a sweaty mess. He looks so gross.
London calling, and I live by the river. I gotta turn on the AC, man. It's fucking hot in here.
All right, so
In the ghetto.
I turn up the volume here, but let me just back that up real quick. Look at his hair in the back. Look at how it is wet.
It's fucking hot in here. In the ghetto.
So what's it
Oh, yeah. Oh, no wonder why. Jeez, I was at 80.
He has his AC set to 80? Why would he do that?
Exactly how that works.
Does he not know how to... Huh.
Fucking hell. Fucking 80 degrees.
Yeah.
No wonder why I was fucking sweating my ass off.
Math teacher.
Again, he just started his show.
Right.
Like, if you're already sweaty, like, why not check that before you sit down in front of your camera?
Just start 5 minutes later.
Yeah. Or 5 minutes earlier, check to see what the temperature is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Smart,
how about live comfortably all the time when you're in Florida?
That's what I do. I know, it's crazy.
He can't afford that. Come on.
Duke's got a lady, too.
Oh,
Yeah, the Duke
what a
has
segue.
got a new lady. Well, we'll see. So far, so good though. Spent the night last night. Skull.
So she woke up in this sweaty fucking factory, the sweat box.
Well, I spent all my money on dinner.
Dude, what kind of lady is he bringing home? This is the first he's mentioned of this. Yeah. Now, I know these on the apps, but I'm assuming this is some drunk at the bar that she was just like, yeah, all right.
Give the guy some credit, Carl.
Nope. Because, and it's weird that he's like, yeah, I got a new lady friend, and then he immediately catches himself like, well, maybe I haven't sealed the deal yet.
But there's no restraining order, so.
But later on, somebody tells John that he looks terrible. Because he does, and he disagrees.
Is the hooker a vampire? You look terrible.
Is the hooker a vampire? So this person's assuming that
a couple things.
Oh, I love that person.
I look terrible.
Yeah, he doesn't address the hooker.
Every fucking...
Yeah, I know. It's like Han Solo, who's scruffy looking. You're like, no, you're missing the point here.
I look terrible.
Hey, I may be ugly and hate-filled, but I've, what was the third thing you said?
Dude, I've been pumping every fucking day, man. Look at these fucking things. You should see my chest. I was admiring my body in the gym. Oh my God, I'm fucking skinny now. I'm literally skinny. My pants are falling off me.
Classic John. Deliberately missing the point.
Well,
what we're looking at is your face.
Yeah.
You look terrible.
The sweat and the clamminess is what we are focusing on currently.
This is the thing. And Adam, you told him this. You're like, you monetize this is IRL streaming. John admiring himself in the mirror at the gym. That's what I want to watch. That's amazing that he would say that out loud. Guys, you just see my body. No, I'm good.
No, yeah, I don't want to.
It's fine.
Then show us. Just show us, John. Stand up
true.
and show us, or shut the fuck up.
That's a good point. I mean, he could. I mean, don't, but he could. But don't. But he could. Guys, I look so fucking buff right now. I mean, I'm wearing a 2X t-shirt, but so you can't really see it. But trust me, I'm so defined. Yeah. You can't even believe it.
Let's just believe it.
Yeah, let's just believe it. So, John is the worst at prepping for his show of anyone ever. Because he saw a video online with Chad Zumock where it says, Chad destroys Stuttering John, comma, and then lists a bunch of other people. And John sees that and he goes, oh, I got a show. I'm going to go on. I'm going to watch this video of Chad trashing me, and I'm going to give him what for. So this is John setting that up right here.
Oh, boy. I see that Chadley is all upset with me. I don't know why. Why is Chadley so angry with me? What did I do to you, Chadley? Tell me what I did to you, Chad. Did I do something to you? Did I do something to you, Chadley? You're very upset with me.
You already said that.
I don't know why, Chadley.
You said that.
I don't know what I did, but you're very mad at me.
What does he think he's doing with this?
Buying time for something.
It's so long.
But it's also this thing where he thinks he's entertaining. Like every time he's embarrassing himself, he's just like, yeah, I'm really putting it on a show right now. No, just embarrassing yourself. It's not great.
I love watching himself do this stuff.
Yes.
Right.
Because he believes deeply he is killing it.
Yeah.
He's like, look at how I went from fucking hell and I pivoted to holy shit. No one saw it coming. He thinks this is an act.
There's a misguided confidence that's very similar to Eric the actor that we really appreciated, because Eric the actor, there's no reason for him to think he's the king of fuck mountain. Right. And yet all he does is call an Howard Stern show, tell Howard Stern to fuck off, and he just thinks he's a star. By the way, you were talking about his internet show, the wrap-up show for American Idol. I only heard it when Howard would play clips on the Howard Stern show. I never actually listened to it, and I'm kicking myself because I wasn't in this line of business back then. But I'm kicking myself for not going back. Does that exist anywhere online, his old shows?
Here's the problem with it. It does, but it's just like talking to John on the phone. It is so surprisingly boring. You're not
Right.
prepared for just how mind-numbingly boring it is. You're like, I love this guy. This is going to be great. Unfiltered. Nope, it's the worst. It just puts you to sleep.
Well, you say, talking to John on the phone, what if the person he's talking to he's trying to fuck? That is kind of interesting when he's on the phone.
I think Kate Meany deserves an award for just hanging in that long and listening.
And you can
Takes a
find
lot of
that,
drugs.
You can find that award at the Dabby Awards next Saturday night. WTPLive.com for tickets or DabbleCon.live. You can stream the whole show and watch it from the comfort of your home or while you're driving. All right. So now John's going to find the clip of Chad and react to it. He hasn't watched it, but he knows how funny he is. He knows he's going to come up with some witty things to say and come back with.
I say, stop it. I warn you. I say, stop it.
Stop
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Don't do it.
And what do? You do
You
it anyway.
do
And
it
then you
anyway.
get humiliated in front of everyone.
Yeah.
And then you disappear. You run away.
Is he talking about me? Have I ran away? I don't know. Chad, I'm right here. I just said a prayer for you.
A few moments later.
Well, yeah. What is he? Who ran away?
We're done with Chad. We're moving on, right, Steel Toe? You remember that? I
Oh,
told
Steel Toe. Okay. I don't care about him. I want me.
Oh.
So the part I clipped out of there is John going off on Chad. Oh, I ran away, motherfucker. You think I fucking ran away? Blah, blah, blah. He's going on and on and on. It's just like, he's talking about Aaron Imholt, you idiot. He's like, oh, okay. Probably should have watched the video first, huh, John?
Would have been smart.
Yeah, because he really ramped up for that one. Like, oh, watch out. I'm going to get him with this one. Fucking idiot. All right. So then more on John watching this video that's not about him.
fucking some internet loser. Nick Rekieta's a loser. I'm sorry.
Who cares?
You'll always be my bitch. And for all of you motherfuckers from Melton to Carl
Here it
to
comes.
now Blind Mike, all of you motherfuckers covering Steel Toe, that was my beef. I started all of this, okay?
Oh, Chad.
He started.
Chad, are you crying plagiarism? I saw your act. You can't cry that. See, here's the problem. I don't dislike Chad.
That is a problem. Did you see John just laugh at his own joke there?
Oh, yeah.
Isn't that the thing that he makes fun of everyone else for doing? When people laugh at their own jokes?
I saw your act. You can't cry that.
Well, I really tickled him. Pretty good stuff right there. So, just to comment on what Chad was saying, that I watched Chad, but now John's watching Chad, so I'm watching Chad through John. When people ask me why I was cool with Shuli doing the Uncle Rico show, here's the alternative. Oh, I started making fun of him first, so you're not allowed to. No one else can goof on him. Fucking loser. Chad's such a loser. All right, so
I liked watching John realize he was left out of that list.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I
Wait,
know.
I'm a loser.
Yeah, I know. It's pretty funny.
You can see him being like, I'm up next. He's going to say
Right,
my name.
yeah.
He's
Oh.
going to...
Perfect segue, because Chad is clearly not talking about John, but John reacts as if he's talking about him here.
You know, verified, not monetized, just nobodies. You're fucking nobodies.
Really, Chad? I'm a nobody? I don't know. I think I've been covered by more news outlets than you ever been. I think I've headlined more clubs than you ever have.
I'll let it keep playing, but just, John, there's enough people goofing on you. You don't have to pretend that Chad's goofing on you. I love that he's finding someone who's making fun of someone else, Mr. Kill Everything. And John's going out there going, oh, yeah, I'm a nobody. No, he's talking about Mr. Kill Everything, idiot. It's not about you.
I really just want to start labeling videos now.
Yeah, just
I
call it.
really, like, oh, so-and-so goes off on John. I want to do that. That's my new hobby.
Lady Babylon goes off on John.
Yeah.
Well, that's.
But then just have it be a clip where the person is not saying the name, so John still thinks
You know
it's
who did
him.
that was Vince the Warrior. Vince edits these videos to make it look like people are saying shit about
Oh,
other
yeah, that's
people.
right.
Yeah. So he tried to get. So he had me goofing on John, but he would splice in the word named
right.
Shuli, and he played it for
Yes.
Shuli, and Shuli's like, I don't think Carl's talking about me right here. And so Shuli caught on to it. But yeah, you could easily fool John with that type of video.
Yeah.
We should just flood YouTube with videos like that of people just talking about.
Okay.
we could have Trump talking about Kamala Harris. And John is like, what? I'm not Indian descent. What's he saying that? What the fuck?
Really? That seems a little rich, Chad. I don't know where you get off saying all this, but you're killing me, brother. Jesus, I can't believe I'm in the mud with the mud shark. Holy shit. Is that the Jaws theme am I hearing? Ba-dun, ba-dun, ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Holy shit, Chad. Ba-dun. Thank you, John Williams. You're welcome.
Well, I got to clip that for Lucy.
Please don't.
Now he's doing thank you, John Williams, like he does with Crackhead Bob. Now he's doing that with John Williams.
That had everything.
Also, he's stealing that from Tukey. That's the Tukey Shark theme. I'm pretty sure, right? Isn't that
all this? But you're killing me, brother. Jesus, I can't believe I'm in the mud with the mud shark. Holy shit. Is that the Jaws theme am I hearing? Ba-dun, ba-dun, ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba.
Tukey Shark? I think that's how that song goes. I don't know.
That's where it came from.
That's where it came from, I'm pretty sure. All right, so this next clip is a longer one, guys. But John comes up with an idea on the fly. Because as we know, Chad does this hit show called Cumia's Cucks. He's been doing it for a while, where he makes fun of anyone that Anthony Cumia doesn't have a problem with. Pretty good stuff. So John comes up with a brilliant idea.
You are such a fucking Brennan Cuck. The Kevin Cuck. I got to do the Kevin Cucks.
Yeah.
That's going to be my new show.
Okay.
The Kevin Cucks.
Cool.
Starring. Hold on.
Okay.
All right, this is going to take me a while here.
Yeah, I think it is. Let's watch and put this together in real time. Now, if I had to guess, I would assume he's probably editing a video together.
Oh.
For like an intro to this new show, Kevin.
The Kevin Cucks.
Kevin Cucks. All right.
The Kevin Cucks.
Yep.
That's it?
All right. Well, he's still editing the video. Give him a second.
Spitballing here.
The Kevin Cucks.
What's that melody? Or did you lost the
Looks
thread?
like a call response kind of thing, like the Brady Bunch.
The Kevin Cucks.
Oh,
We're here with the Kevin Cucks.
what is that?
Who's we?
All right. He's still editing the video, guys. Give him a second. This is going to be great.
We're here with the Kevin Cucks.
He's old school. He's using Flash. It's going to take a little while. Give him a second. He's got this. Flash. All right, John, you got this. Any minute now. I didn't speed this one up. I thought it'd be more fun to watch this
It's
in
great.
real time.
Thank you.
Yeah. See how he does his show. When you talked about, I'll pause it for a second here.
Oh, thank you.
When you talked about how like going back and watching Eric the Actor's show is boring, this is what you're talking about.
It's exactly what I'm talking
Yeah.
about.
You're like oh, actually, if people don't clip the right parts, you just see shit like this. I'm just staring at his screen.
They both believe every breath, every noise out of them is entertaining.
Yes.
They think them singing off camera, them just drinking a Pepsi that's a show.
That's so weird.
Howard made it look too easy.
That's what it is, too. Yeah. It's like, no, he's actually charming and compelling. People want to know what he's up to.
We're here with the Kevin Cucks.
All right, we're still working out the theme song.
Kevin Cucks.
Little pitchy.
All right.
Kevin Cucks.
Could
This is going to be my new
catchier.
show, the Kevin Cucks.
Okay, cool.
Is that what it's called?
Starring Chad Zumock. The Kevin Cucks.
Oh, that's
Also
a
starring-
photo.
That was so many clicks to get
Melissa
to that.
Gillespie, the
Oh,
Kevin
you got
Cucks.
two.
Also starring
Oh, is there a third?
Mike Boschetti. Welcome to the Kevin Cucks.
Good intro.
You fucking wusses. Barry Howissa.
It took him 2 minutes to pull up 3 photos of people.
And 75 clicks.
Yes, there's a lot of typing, a lot of clicking going on. Adam, I hope you're ready for this. We have a celebrity here in the green room that's going to join us on the show. Have you ever met Cardiff Electric?
Well, hello, Adam Busch.
Oh, hello.
Welcome to the stream.
Thank you.
Carter,
We've had interactions on Dabblers Anonymous, but you didn't know because I was anonymous.
Oh.
Coward.
Oh, yeah, I'm not hiding behind a filter, you know?
Now we can dox you. What's your sock account? We're going to dox you, Adam. All right, so John desperately wants Chad on his side. And Aaron went through this recently, too. There's a weird thing going on where people are like, you can't beat him, join him, I guess.
I don't like Mr. Kill Everything either. You and I could bond on this. Maybe you should come do my show and not be a Kevin Cook. And come do the Duke's show. And you and I could commiserate about what a dickhead Mr. Kill Everything is. Come on, Chadley. Why can't we be friends? Why can't we be friends? Why can't we be friends? Why can't we be friends?
John is pitching to a fellow comedian. So two comedians, quote unquote headliners, are going to do a show bashing Mr. Kill Everything.
Yes, right.
Okay.
That's the thing they have in common. They both don't like Mr. Kill Everything.
Got it.
And so, yes, John's got a brilliant idea because he just needs friends. It comes back to what Tukey said over a year ago. These are all just lonely guys who are just looking for friends. And so everything's happened between John and Chad. There's been a lot of things over the last year. John's just like, yeah, but we both don't like Mr. Kill Everything. You want to be buddies? You want to come over?
And that's always been kind of John's bottom line when it comes to friends is if I like this, then you have to like this. And if I don't like this, then you can't like this because we can't do that. That's not okay.
And in this case, everyone thinks I'm a piece of shit. Everyone thinks you're a piece of shit. Mm-hmm. Let's join forces.
Another thing in common.
Makes sense. So back to Adam's point that John thinks that everything he does is entertaining. We just heard him singing that Why Can't We Be Friends? And it sounds like that's long enough of that song to sing. Oh, no. It continues on.
Why can't we be friends? Why can't we
I didn't start this over. He's still doing it.
Why can't we be friends? Why can't we be friends? Low rider, never did you want now. Low rider, never did you want now. All right.
No.
Are those the lyrics?
The Duke, everyone.
Never did
Are those songs connected in any way?
No, never did the what now? What was he singing there? He's so untalented and unfunny and uninteresting in every way, and I'll never understand that. That part will be clipped by 20 channels. We'll be like, there's proof. I'm amazing. No, we're all making fun of you, John. We all think you're a clown.
And there's many reasons why we shouldn't be friends. That's why we can't be friends.
Yeah, that's a good point.
He doesn't understand that there's more than one kind of laughter.
Right.
He doesn't understand that. He thinks if they're laughing, he's won. He doesn't understand we're laughing at him or near him. As long as he hears laughter, he thinks everything's going great.
He's the kid in the classroom where snot's coming out of his nose and the hot girl looks at him and he's like, see, Catherine looked at me?
Yeah.
You know, because there was snot running out of your nose. Yeah, she noticed me though. So I got that going for me. Like,
did she notice you?
Yeah, right. Like, no, I didn't have snot running out of my nose.
But to Adam's point, like that's a very Opie thing when laughter's happening. Oh, this has to be a short on the internet.
Oh, it's hilarious. Everyone's having fun. I hear laughter. Sure. All right. One more clip on here. We're now 37 minutes into John's show. His whole idea was he was going to go after Chad because Chad had this video clip out making fun of John.
I knew Kevin was going to have us both on. I was like, let him have his little platform. Let's see what happens. Because he was
Yeah, you didn't really say too much about me. This whole thing is labeled Z-Man goes off on Stuttering John. Of course you put me first because I'm the only one that's relevant.
swinging his dick. I bring in the super chats. No, you don't. I do.
Really? I don't see any here.
John thought that was a good brag right there. You bringing the super chats? I'm not getting any. Yeah, we know.
It's two homeless people fighting over a quarter on the street. It's outside Joey C's place.
I know, I was just going to say the same thing. So this guy, he thought he was going to come in here with this amazing video and slap back at Chad and have all these sick burns. Just watch the fucking video. I give this guy free advice on a weekly basis. John, watch the video. You might even come up with a joke ahead of time.
No.
Maybe write it down. I don't know. Just a thought. Just an idea.
I believe what we're seeing on stream is the best of John. And we understand how bad that is. But I think what goes on when he's not on camera, those 5 seconds before, I think he is just pulling himself together enough to press record. And that's why everything we're seeing after that is, kind of getting it all in shape, because he's literally just like crawling and oozing on the ground and lifting himself up and pressing record and then seeing himself for the first time that day. And
You're
going,
right.
wow.
How many times have you been like, oh shit, I forgot to do my hair?
Yeah.
It's like run off camera. You're right. He doesn't even see himself before he hits record.
He waged war against all of his haters how many years ago? And now his haters are his employers deciding how much money he makes, and he thinks he's won.
Yes. Well, I don't know that he thinks he's won. And actually, that leads me to my other question, Adam. Where is this going? We have DabbleCon next weekend. That's going to be a big event. And, last time we did DabbleCon, it was this big celebration of all things Stuttering John and the Dabbleverse, and we're going to do that again. It's going to be fantastic. But where do things go from there? John's in the middle of this lawsuit with Vince that he can't afford. He just sold his house for $10 to his mom. Actually, I want to get your take on some of that stuff, too. I know you've been looking into that.
I sure have.
Where do you think things are going, Adam? And I'll ask Cardiff the same thing, but first you.
It's a great question, because I was wondering the same thing listening to the mini tapes. When he's dreaming and fantasizing about, he goes, when this is all over and you and I are in Acapulco. So what does that mean to him when this is all over? Is that when all of us are in handcuffs being led into San Quentin? Is that when it's over?
I think you're right. I think that's it.
I hope not, or maybe I hope so, because I think the reality is he was talking about going to the doctor a lot when he was in Canoga Park, and then that shit stopped. He decided to stop talking about that, and he has been pretty much on a downward slope in every sense ever since. And I feel like that
he's
Tonight Show
working out
party,
a lot, though, Adam. His muscles are getting very
his
big.
arms look great. His arms look great. His face looks like a nightmare, but his arms look good. That Tonight Show party, I feel like it was like a living wake for him. I feel like the doctors told him something, and he decided, I have 2 courses. I'm going to go with the fuck it route and just
This is getting dark as hell. Holy shit.
That's what I see. It's why I was motivated to talk to him so quickly and so urgently, because I feel like the time is running out. And people don't remember how much they hated Eric, the actor, when he was alive. They hated him because he would not confess to his lies. He would not give it up. But then the day he died, people are like, oh, I'm getting an Eric tattoo. I'm going to put some Pepsi on his grave. We love him. So I just wanted to jump in before what I think is a very imminent demise.
Interesting. Yeah, you're right. He was talking a lot about his doctor and doctor visits, perfect heart, all these different things that he was talking about. And of course, he was on Slim Fast and all this other stuff. And
so he took care of all of his problems.
I guess he's perfect now.
And another reason to deed your house to somebody else, regardless of if a lawsuit is filed against you, is if you think you're going to die.
And $10.
I had an older alcoholic relative who could not eat. And when they could not eat, all the doctors could do was get him to drink Ensure. That's what you do when you're drinking so much that you can't hold down food, but you have to eat. And the doctor would tell him, you need to eat. If you don't eat, you're going to die. He chose alcohol. That's what Ensure is for. Is this a comedy show?
Adam, this is so crazy because I know you're right about that. And the way that John was spinning it, like that was a weight loss solution.
Right.
Like Ensure is like literally giving you calories when you can't absorb calories any other way. That's what it's for. My cancer-ridden father drinks Ensure. But by the way, I have a great update because John brought this to all of our attention. I will tell you that my father got his CT scan results today and very positive. No detection. He doesn't have to go back for 3 months. So very happy news. Everyone who's
That's great.
All right.
been cheering for him and sending a lot of, encouragement and positive vibes. I appreciate that. Very good news on that front. But that's my connection with like Ensure is like, you have a lot of health problems. You can't hold food down.
He was bragging. today about, he's like, I had one salad to eat yesterday, and that's all I had. Like it was a flex, not a warning sign.
Wow. That's a good point. Cardiff, where do you think this is going? Can you maybe lighten things up for us over here on this guy?
Before I lighten things up, Tukey wants to know if cancer jokes are on the table at DabbleCon.
Of course. All jokes are on the table.
Okay, good. There you go, Tukey.
But if you talk about my club foot, my dad will be in attendance. Just let him know that.
Oh, good. I'll bring the pie.
Mm-hmm.
But we were pondering last night again. I think it's like, is DabbleCon 2 the end of this? Like because it felt like DabbleCon 1, we were all going to have this big bash DabbleCon and John and have some fun and it would be over. That would be it. That was a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
It's bigger now than it was then.
Much bigger.
It continues to grow. Like we were debating, is there going to be a DabbleCon 3? And we're like, yeah, probably. Something else is going to happen. Like I'm pulling stuff now for Potato Soup live at DabbleCon. WATBlive.com for tickets or dabblecon.live to stream. I'm pulling clips now and I'm like, I found an old lost episode, a John appearance on a podcast from almost 10 years ago that I don't think anyone in this universe has seen. So I'm pretty proud of this one. But I know I'm just parking it because something could happen on Tuesday that changes everything.
It does make it hard to gear up for a live event. I usually prep all of the show the day of the show. We do a live event because you don't know what's going to happen the night before. Like we went to Detroit that one time and he had that 5-hour drunk stream the night before our show. And I'm like,
it changed,
beautiful.
Changed the course of the show.
Andy, here's your homework.
We all got to watch it. It was great.
Right. Oh, but yeah, it does make things weird. But here's my prediction: DabbleCon 3, Munich, Germany. We're heading to Europe with this thing, boys.
It's about time.
Let's go. Yes, it's about time we go overseas with DabbleCon. But Adam, to your point before about the IRL streaming, and I can't get off this, I really think that's the next step for John, is performative John in front of the camera gets old. He doesn't have a lot to say. He's just reacting to the shit. And I do think that what we're seeing is the best version of him, which is horrible. Mm-hmm. So if he could strap on a GoPro, that's the other thing I wanted to ask you. Let me just finish this thought. If we could see what it's like for him to struggle to go to CVS and pick up his prescription and then go to the bar and watch all the patrons like rolling their eyes and the bartender like, hey, John, all right, yeah, I know, no politics, John, no politics, John. Oh, I'm just saying, no politics, John. Okay.
John, you said you were going to bathe.
Yeah, right.
You promised.
So did John follow up with you after that interview? Because he said he wanted to learn how to do all this YouTube shit from you afterwards.
He did. He did call me. And it was funny. He assumed I was like tech support at my computer with my headset on and all of his statistics up, ready to go.
It's so ridiculous. He knows you as a musician. You're an actor. You're successful. Like, why would you have all this tech knowledge?
Because you're supposed to help me.
Right. Exactly. And he was very disappointed when I wasn't set up and ready to go. He asked me what I thought of the show. I thought it was great. I said, thank you for having me on. He said, I had Gretchen Bonaducci on. I said, oh, is that Danny's wife? And he said, yeah. He was so hurt that I didn't
gave
know.
it away?
I wouldn't know that either.
It was like he said The Rock, and I was like, who? And he just,
I had Mrs. Rock on.
But he was hurt. He was personally hurt that that this wasn't a big win for him. So then after he moved on from that disappointment, he said, can you help me with YouTube? I said, look, John, I'm not a YouTube expert, but there's something I've been dying to talk to you about. Do you know what Chat GPT is? This will change your life. You can ask it everything you want, and it's free. It's not Google. Silence. He didn't respond. I said, do you know what AI is? He said, yeah. I said, okay, well, that's really all I'm going to do. I'm going to sit here and I'm going to ask ChatGPT whatever you want to know. He goes, great, perfect. Ask ChatGPT how to stop the rewind in YouTube.
What an idiot. He should have been like, okay, I'll hang up with you now. I got this. Thank you.
That was not, he doesn't know how to do things for himself. He only knows how to go through people.
Adam, no one ever showed me how to do things for myself.
I'll ask Carl to be nice.
Yeah.
That's
and
hysterical.
then he asked me how to stop the thumbs down button.
Oh,
right.
Yeah, thanks for that, by the way. I love that stat.
It hurt me more than anybody else, believe me. I told him, look, you can take the whole thing out, or you have to leave it. It's not really an option. I thought he meant the thumbs down Apple icons.
Yeah, that's what I thought he meant too. He meant on his videos. It didn't occur
to me he meant, I don't like it when they give me the thumbs down.
Yeah, it's not good for the algorithm.
Get that out of my sight. Okay.
Interesting.
Okay. So I helped him with that, and then he was off the phone really quickly, really fast. Never called back.
Wow.
Which is fascinating because he knows I'm enemy territory, but he still can't help himself from asking me how YouTube works because I'm his only connection to it in that moment. That's it. That's his whole world.
He also is going to get everything he can get out of every relationship he has.
Right.
Regardless.
I feel like some of those deliveries that we've heard, if they stuck around long enough, he'd be asking them for support, you know, like IT shit.
Yeah, right.
Do you know how this works?
Do you guys know about lighting a studio? Like, I'm delivering pizza. I don't know how to light a studio.
Well, so you could try turning your lights on.
Yeah, that would be helpful. Lights on. Okay. Sounds good.
Podcast.